Baby, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. If it come down to the floor is yours. Let me tell you how pro the floor is yours. 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 Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another E&M podcast. And today we got a special guest coming with y'all, but I want to acknowledge that we don't have our critic goddess with us online tonight. She took off, but hey, she deserved it. So she's in good hands. But my boy Flex is back there flexing. You ain't gonna flex for him today, Flex. Gotta always have that. It won't, hey, you on mute, bro.
Hey, I want you to ask that way. I seem modest when you ask me instead of me just doing it, bro.
Hey man, that's right on, man. Hey,
Yeah.
but it won't be right if you don't flex.
Man, let me give you one more then.
That's what I'm talking about, boy.
Forgive us, Ada.
Oh man. But hey, y'all, got somebody very special that we bringing on tonight. I mean, just a straight up hustler. When I tell you she's a hustler, I mean, all over the DFW, man, just rolling around her, handling business. And when I tell you this woman puts in the work, she puts in the work. So, um, with further ado, I'm gonna let Miss Ada Crenshaw of Infinite Legacy Notary Services introduce herself and give us a little game about
Yeah,
what she got going on. Go ahead, Miss.
thank you. I want to start off by saying thank you again, Terrence and Flex, for bringing me on this platform. I can't say thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. It's an honor and privilege to be on this program here. And so, without further ado, I will introduce myself as Ada Crenshaw, Ada Nakia Crenshaw. That's my given name. And am from Louisiana. Go Saints all the way. Don't care. Grambling State University. Don't be shaking your head.
Oh, my bad, man. I be trying not to wear my, my bad.
No. So
You still all good. We neighbors, so it's all good.
but I'm from Louisiana, so that's my team. I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm with you thick through thin. When they were the Eights, now they're the Saints. So I worked in aerospace and defense for 21 years. Now it
Wow.
may not look like it, but yeah, I worked in the aerospace industry for 21 years and was laid off in February. I got the notice in February that I would be getting laid off. And so within that 60 days, I birthed a new Ada, birthed a new journey. And it's been wonderful ever since. And my new birth was myself, my freedom of being a woman, my freedom of being Black, for feeling Black for the first time out of the corporate America slave trade. So uh, I feel more empowered and more independent now, which caused me to start my business of Infinite Legacy Mobile Notary that was birthed out of pain from having a change, really, and not being in control of the change, to flourishing now with doing my own business and building my legacy. So that's me starting off with Infinite Legacy. I can talk more about it, but I'll let you all guide the conversation. I don't know.
Well, that's you know what I know Flick's probably got something he want to jump in and say because I seen it all over. But I want to say that's interesting that you say um you getting off the slave trade because how because I've worked with you. I've been in corporate too, and it just feels like sometimes you can't make that progression in some spaces. I'm not saying because we have come a long way, but there's still that I don't even want to call it glass ceiling. I just want to say it's still something in the way there
Hmm.
that stops progression, even when you have the credentials and you know that you're supposed to be in a certain area or in a certain
Yeah.
position or whatnot, but you're not there. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting that you said that because what kind of caterpillar that for you to say that and how what took you there and what led you up to this point to and I know you said that you got off of that, but kind of explain that part a little bit. Go back into your work history and how you got to that position, how you got to where you are today.
Well, I was hired into aerospace and defense right out of college, and which took
Mm,
me out to Los Angeles, California. And I worked for Northrop Boeing, Northrop Grumman, TRW first before Northrop bought them out. Raytheon, L3 Communications. I worked for a small subsidiary of Boeing for a small company.
mhm,
And so going through that, I would say the best gift I could get was having being around the seasoned employees. I
Mm-hmm.
say, coming right out of college when you're young, you think you know everything and you don't. It's good to be around those seasoned employees because they hit me to the game early.
mm.
So I knew what was coming, what could come. Um, no matter what company I went to, it was the same game but different players. Still the
The
chess
game.
game, but
When you say the game, what do you mean? Like that you just here next day you could be gone, or is it more than that?
it's more of okay, we're going to tell you how good you are, how valuable you are to our organization, but we still aren't going to give you a really good raise. There's always cuts. Um, you want to do something more challenging, it takes a lot more effort to put yourself out there. What I learned to really talk and promote yourself. So it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like you are an entrepreneur in some sense because you have to advocate for yourself. You have to
Yeah.
show how good you are. Um, and that 20 years of that of having the experience, having the education, you still get passed up for opportunities, you still
Yeah.
get passed up for positions that you're more qualified than the manager that's working for you. And I have been in situations where I have trained my manager 3 times over the course of my career.
Wow.
And when you constantly get beat up, saying this is not enough, you give a little bit more, that's not enough. We don't care. We saw the, companies, they say we care about the employees, it's family first. And it's really not like that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I know that I could have moved up further than I was, but I went into corporate America letting them know that my family is first. And I
Mm,
Yeah.
meant that.
So let me ask you this.
And
So Terrence talked about that glass ceiling, and so
mhm,
from your experience, you were in the industry 20s, and my first mindset is that industry is probably male dominated, probably white male dominated. So
yes.
you coming in as a young black female fresh out of college, can you talk about your initial challenges and if you were aware of the glass ceiling that everybody speaks about?
Coming straight out of college, no. I thought the sky was the limit. That's what I was told. So I thought I could go far,
Yeah.
um, go up that chain, play the game. As my dad tell me, you have to talk a certain way. You have to, present yourself in a certain way. You have to basically code switch. I've code switched for 21 years. And
Mm.
you code
Mhm.
switch, that's the game, is that you play. You code switch, and it's like you can code switch so long that you can forget who you are. And
Yeah.
that's why
Mm.
when I said
Man.
I can look back, and I can, when I gave my badge and walked out of those doors, I actually sat in my car and I cried because I said, I feel like I'm free. I'm free. I'm a black woman. I am who I am. I'm not those things that I was told. You're
Yeah.
not good enough. You can't do that. When you're young, coming out of college, yeah, you think the sky is the limit. But at some
Yeah.
point, you really start seeing, like, wait a minute, this team member got promoted. Wait, what's going on? And when that happened to me, I'm like, early in, I'm like, what is going on? It's like, I didn't think this would happen. And
Yeah.
that was my first awakening into corporate America as a young 20-year-old. And
Mhm.
it shocked me a little bit, but then after it kept happening, you just get numb to it, and you feel,
Mm.
like, maybe I'll go to this company. I'll
Yeah.
switch one plantation for another, and maybe they won't whip me as bad. But then you get there and
Yeah.
you find out, dang, it's just as bad here.
Yeah. So
So,
there's a corporate America where they reward you enough, they compensate you enough, they give you enough accolades, pats on the back enough to say like, "Hey, I'm progressing." It was that your experience when it's give you enough to make you want more, or I mean, what was your personal experience there?
my personal experience in the beginning, I would say in the beginning, I worked with some great companies, great managers, and I did get really good raises.
Mhm.
Um, but they do lure you in with the money, because each time you jump companies, your salary jumps 10, 20, 15% depending on how you negotiate, you know. And so that money just keeps you there. And you're
Mm.
thinking, oh, I'm making good money. I'm getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. I'm comfortable. I don't need to do too much of anything. I'm comfortable. And you start out, like I personally started out with aspirations of being a VP, being a
Mhm.
director, because my dad did that. Working at his company, he moved up really quick. So being a daddy's girl, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move up quick like my dad. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna work hard. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It took a lot. It
Yeah.
takes a lot more out
Yeah.
of you to play that game,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
play the corporate shuffle, to code switch so much and lose yourself in the process. And I feel that I was dinged because when it's time for me to go, I'm deucing. I'm out. I've given you my 8 hours. I'm a salaried
Yeah.
employee. Overtime is worthless to me. Living in California, unless you working 100 hours in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
overtime is like nothing.
Yeah.
So
For what? Anyway. Yeah.
I feel that kind of stunted my growth, to be honest, but that was a choice I made
Yeah.
because my family is important. That's number one. And my me time is important. So I knew that that could cost me, but I didn't care though that
Yeah.
that would happen.
Yeah. And
Well,
I
I
think there's a lot of people's story. To you, I know you worked in corporate America,
yeah,
so you
man.
have a similar experience.
We got
How?
the same thing. We work together.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so we work together, man. So I mean, you know, I look, man. I got like, and I tell people, I said, I'm not, I don't brag about it, but I got like two associates, a bachelor's, and a master's. There's no way I shouldn't have been in no manage. I should have been in somebody's management position, and I feel like
Mm.
I know how to manage people. I know how to take care of people, and I'm pretty good with, kind of just seeing how people move and stuff and
Yeah.
what gets them moving and stuff like that. So it was like I was supposed to be in line for the next management position, but it never happened. And even though you're a hard worker sometimes, but I mean that can go so far because like man, ain't nobody trying to work hard all the time. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I mean that
Right.
can only go so far. So when you don't get that promotion, it's like, okay, I'm working this hard for somebody else. And it's
Yeah.
like I could be doing my own thing. So
Good point.
it's just that sometimes you have to take that leap of faith, man, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
do your own thing at whatever cost. Now, I'm not saying, you got to make sure your finances in order though when you do that,
No doubt.
because that
So was
that
that story too, where you had to sacrifice your family if you wanted to grow?
oh, most deaf, man, because even when you make, you think about it, even when you make and you in a management position, man, in a management they want you to work 10 or 12 hours, even when
Cell
the
phone
right.
always at hand.
And I remember when I worked for DOJ and I was like the only IT there at the office, man, and I had like I would be the only one, so I could be the only one to call. We had people in other areas that they can call, but mostly when you're in that area, because I was from Tyler to Texarkana, so
Yeah.
mostly when you're in that area, you get all the calls, so you have to work that kind of almost 24/7, and it's like you're not really
Mhm.
off. But I can say that that place there, it was a good place, but my goal was to make manager, but it just because my manager was never leaving, so I had to make a
Yeah.
choice there, and boom. So
Yeah.
it's kind of been like that every all the corporate places I work, man. Because I don't work at, Raytheon, General Dynamics, Boeing, Microsoft, DOJ, Apt. I don't work for major corporations, but it
Yeah.
seemed like I just couldn't ever get to that management position, even with my
Mhm.
credentials.
Yeah. So you talked about the leap of faith, and I'm thinking about this question right here. She says that's key. Have to make sure you're financially responsible. So, um, Ada, I know for you, you said you were laid off. T. Will, you left your job voluntarily. So let's
Yep.
talk about how you prepare yourself for that transition. If you start, Ada.
Um, well, I would say I started off by having savings already set aside,
Mhm.
but way before. I didn't know when it was coming, but my dad always said, always have something saved away for a rainy day. And I always thought my rainy day was going to be maybe I need new tires. Something needs to be fixed around the house.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just something like that. But
Yeah.
never did I think that I would be laid off. So I would say there's nothing you can't prepare for something you don't know, but you always should be prepared for the what ifs.
Mhm.
And I kind of luckily, when I worked from home the whole year, I was actually in my mind and on the background really trying to get my company started. And it was just I started the one thing is like you didn't go anywhere. So I saved money, I saved extra money, and little did I know the next year it would be this. And so I think when you don't have savings and you're caught off guard, it goes into preservation mode. And you
Mhm.
have to make those quick decisions like, okay, what don't I need?
Mhm.
What can I cut out? Where can I save real quick? What is my next plan?
Mhm.
If you don't have a plan B or a plan C, you have to start preparing, even though you're in a good place and you're on top of the mountain and everything, life is good. That's when you have to really save and put away that money the best way you can, even if it's $5 every, paycheck you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Because something is better than nothing.
You was not
So
living your best life.
yeah, I'm still living my best life.
I'm talking about then. You wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't shopping it up Louis, Gucci, Tiffany,
No, no, no.
like T. Will.
Mm-mm.
Is
Oh
that your
no,
similar story, brother?
Oh no. Oh no,
nah, bro.
sir.
I ain't finna. I don't have no stocks in that stuff. Ain't no need of me getting off into it.
I have stock
Yeah,
in Apple, so I am appled out. So I do
bless
have
your
stock.
heart.
So I kind of thank myself when I go to the Apple store. Thank you. Uh, just pay myself.
Putting back
So
into it.
no, I've always
Okay.
been always humble, always humble. Um, just because I have something, I don't want to flaunt it. That's the one
Mhm.
thing. It's like just because I have something doesn't mean I'm just gonna flaunt it and spend my money. Now, I'm not saying that having nice luxury items is not bad at all, but my priority right now is to build my legacy. When I
Mm.
get to a point where, okay, I'm good, I'm coasting, my money is making money for me, then I'm gonna go out and splurge a little bit for myself. But I want to get the things that are going to create generational wealth
Yep.
first because I don't want to spend money and then nothing's coming in. It's like I'm just
Mm.
spending money just to, because I got it. So why not spend it? So I kept a really tight budget. I'm a stickler for a budget. I will review everything. If you owe me 5 cents on my bill, you don't give me 5 cents.
I need my coins.
I need my cents.
Oh
So
my.
I scrutinize a lot of things when it comes to my money.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, then that brings us into the next question. Now that you got all that together, what made you go into the business of being a notary?
You. So
Wait, how did
next
wait
question.
wait? How was I a part of it?
Because you and I had a conversation, I'm never going to forget this. You and I had a conversation of many conversations,
Mhm.
and you were telling me about the notary business and how that could be a good side hustle for me. I remember our conversations.
That you're right, and I do too. I remember that as
And you
well.
were telling me about it, and I said, you know what? Let me think. Let me look into it. So I did started looking into it, not knowing that I was God was going to say, okay, it's time for you to move now. You've done this. It's time for you to go now. And little did I know, I did not, but I started looking into it. And before my 60 days was up, I already had my certifications. I had everything I was doing, had health insurance. I did everything that I needed to do in 60 days.
Wow. Wow.
And
Hmm.
I had to, in my mind, it went from calling Terrence, boohooing, and saying, what am I gonna do? To calming down to saying, all right, I got this. God is good. God has got me. I have
What
nothing
you
to
say?
worry about.
Man.
And
Yeah.
that Monday morning, my moment of clarity, 7:36 a.m. That Monday morning, after I was told, I went into hustle mode. It was like you told me my position. Basically, I was told verbatim that my position was no longer needed or important. So they're downsizing.
Yeah.
So I checked out.
Man.
Monday morning, I checked out. It was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm not a part of this no more. I don't do
Yeah.
teamwork no more.
So this
I'm
question
looking
says,
for
you
myself.
never thought of notary as, and there's money in it, and that was my ignorance, true ignorance. I don't know. I know what notary is, but in my mind, I'm thinking like, is there enough work out there? So can you talk about what that looks like? Because
Ooh.
you're doing it, you didn't go back to corporate America. My mindset is that it's serving you well.
Yes, it is. And I got into notary because one, I know about loan documents. I've dealt with loan documents personally. So I've been that person purchasing property, and I've seen wills, I've seen trusts, I've seen I-9s, I've seen different types of forms. And so really being a notary is data management, change
Mm,
management, configuration management. That's what I did for 21 years. So
Mm.
it was really like, okay, I have to secure people's documents. When somebody goes to buy a home loan, I know all the information that goes into that documentation. So just like I protected and did my job with the top secret clearance, I can handle some loan documents. That's far
Mhm.
less, stressful in that situation. So my skills of being in, aerospace and defense, making sure that I know what the laws are in the state of Texas, and if I have to adhere to those laws, that's configuration and change management. I have to make sure that I'm using the correct forms when I'm helping people fill out things and manage the data. That's data management. I have to make sure
Yeah.
that when I book people that I'm not overbooking myself, that I know how long it takes me to do something,
Yeah.
when I'm going to get it done. That's project management.
Okay.
So all of those things I felt, okay, I can start off doing this, notary, because I do loans, I do commercial loans, residential loans, and I do wills, anything that could be notarized. And so that aligned with what I did a little bit, but I could
So
transfer
do you
my
go out and
skills to that.
shop for work, or do people find you? I mean, how do you get enough work to stay
uh,
busy?
network, and network. It's
Mm.
Okay.
it's
Say
one
it.
of
Say that again.
network is your net worth.
Say that.
Yeah.
So
You can say it again
I
if you want to.
I I say networking because um it's word of mouth. You got to get out there in the saying of a closed mouth don't get fed.
Hmm.
You got to go out there, put yourself out there and say, hey, I'm Ada Crenshaw. I am a mobile notary. When you think of me, it's expedient, convenient, and secure. That's our tagline. We can get your loans and your documents done in 45 minutes or less. I'm saving you time. And
Mm.
that's what you want to do. And when I say I'm saving you time and money, you're paying for this luxury service. My time is money. So if you want cheaper, go cheaper. They can make mistakes. I don't make mistakes. I make sure,
Oh,
just like I had to review documents for the government, for the military,
yeah.
you can't make mistakes. You
Yeah.
have to be on point on things, and
Yeah.
things like loans, home loans. I don't want to be the reason why you can't get your keys the next day because, oh, I missed the signature. Oh, I
Okay.
missed the date.
But it makes sense. So in my mind, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, notary, I go to this mail place. I need to get my concealed license, stamp and notarize so I can send it off. You through the documents, making sure the loan documents are correct. You're doing more than just putting a stamp and saying like this is Gerard.
Yeah, this is I try to go another step. I'm not a loan officer, and I tell them
Mhm.
I'm not an attorney, I'm not a real estate agent, nor am I the title company. So in-depth questions I can't answer. Yeah, I can't answer questions like, why is my rate like this? I don't remember me talking. Okay, I will pause right minute and you can call your real estate agent or the title company and talk with them.
Mhm.
I'm here to just notarize the documents so you can either sell this property or get your keys to your new property. So I try, if they have questions, I'll try to answer them as long as they're surface questions. Like, oh,
Yeah.
where can I find my rate? Oh, here, this is where you find your rate. This is how what you pay each month. And so it's really getting out there and networking, putting yourself in spaces that you didn't think you would be in. I have an ad that started yesterday. No, what's today? Wednesday, Monday, in the McKinney Impact. So I have my first newspaper ad that will be running for a year.
Congratulations.
So I'm joined the McKinney Chamber of Commerce.
Mhm.
Um, I joined the country club. And people say when they see me at these events and they look at me weird, like, why join a country club? It's like, look, in order to go to the next level, I got to take it to the next level. And I got to be around people that are like-minded, that are like about getting this money, making investments. And I could be sitting, there've been a few occasions where I do my work from the country club when I don't have clients. That's my office.
Mm.
And so I can sit there one day and someone walked up to me because they heard about me from someone they knew. And they said, excuse me, are you Ada Crenshaw? And I said, yes. You're a mobile notary, right? I said, yes. we're in the conference room doing a deal and we need a notary like right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I started to, say, okay, I can do you can do it right now. It's like I'm always ready. Always have my book and my stamps. Like I'm ready. And I
Yeah.
go, after I finished, I said, you want it before I started, I said, do you want to know the price? They're like, I don't care what the price is. I just need this done. Send me the bill. I don't care what the price is. Ooh.
Oh yeah, you in the country
Okay.
club, so they got that money.
So yeah,
Major.
so
Major.
yeah, so it's uncomfortable. It's sometimes I would say from the old school, like the old money, you still get the kind of the stare and the look,
Mm.
like, and I ignore them because it's like I pay dues here every month. I come here, I pay money. I deserve to be here. This is not 1950. This is 2021.
And you know what? That kind of got that piggy. I'm gonna piggyback that one off of where you started it in the beginning with coming off the slave trade and stuff like that. Those things that you mentioned, because you have people still in that old mindset, right? But I'm gonna tell you something about me. I'm a hustler, man, and I recognize my audience whenever I go into that whatever I'm doing, right? And sometimes you have to. I'm not saying you don't. You just throw it all out the window, but sometimes you have to know how to check your audience in a way that they don't even know you checking them.
No doubt.
And
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
and that's what I've really been able to, kind of pick up on when I'm in those type of situations, because I mean, look, it is what it is. We know that's gonna be there in some places you
Mhm.
go, right? So we just have to know how to navigate through that space and to make sure we're
Yeah.
getting what we want. We got to
Right.
make it
Yeah.
work for us. So that's what I say about being in those. But you have to be in power spaces to make power moves.
Yeah. That's
Let me
good.
see
That's
what
good.
in this coming. Your association and reputation is powerful. It can take you places. Man, that Mariposa, that is absolutely correct. I mean, people say, you know, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
People don't you don't see people of that's not doing something with people that's doing something. That you just
Mhm.
don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you want to elevate, you're gonna have to be around people that's making you elevate your game. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, or if you with people that's gonna bring your game down, that's whatever you around is gonna that's what you're gonna be profound to. So I just say, you gotta make sure, man, you in the right spaces with some of the right people.
Man, that's
Right.
there's and I'm paraphrasing a quote that you're a sum of your environment. They say you can look at the five people that's around you the most, and you can kind of gauge. That's not always true. It's not exact. My
Yep.
thing is as important as we navigate this life
Mhm.
that we're surrounded by people that we talk a lot about accountability, people that hold you accountable, people that motivate. And
Man, for real.
people I see she talk about people that intimidate you, and I understand what she's saying. People that are around her that pushes her and
Hmm.
motivates her to do more and to be. For me, I just remember when I first joined the military. Um, little young black kid out of East Texas. My first duty assignment in Fort Hood was at staff level, so I'm around sergeant majors and colonels, and it's like, man, I didn't expect that, but I could tell you that, man, I did my most growing in that space, because just
Mhm.
being around these professional people, and they push you, and not only push you, they expect excellence.
Mhm.
And it was part of my monthly counseling. They know what they expected from me. They gauge my progress. They counseled me again to make sure that I'm on plan, and I knew my purpose, and making sure, to your point, that you have the right people around. I mean, it's not the be all end all, to it, but it is a big part of it. And again,
Man.
to Mariposa's point, your association and your reputation is powerful, and all that is built. Well, not all of it's built, but a big by your associations.
Man.
Mhm.
Hey, what they say, guilty by association.
Yeah.
Man, listen, you sure right, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. It
Yeah,
don't it never even on both spectrums. on the
Yeah.
positive and negative spectrum.
Impact,
You're gonna
yeah.
get, it's gonna be an association of some,
Mm-hmm.
factor. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
you pick which one you want to be on, the plus or the minus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's good. So I got a question. I know when people talk about their businesses, you like what were some of the challenges that you had to overcome in the beginning? I know before the show we talked about the need to have a website or not, if social media is enough. So can you talk about just those scene kind of decisions that you had to make to catapult your business?
Um, I started with a website. Although,
You did.
I had other notaries that I reached out to, said, you don't need a website. You don't need a website. You can just do social media. And I'm like, mm-mm. I don't do things half. So I said, nah, I'm gonna get a website. So
Why is that? So why did you want like versus only social media? Do you think that captures a different audience? Do you think it gives a different look to your business, or
it
what's about
does.
web? Yeah.
It
Okay.
does. When you go to my website, you will get the feeling of luxury. I'm a luxury
Mm.
brand, and I conduct myself as a luxury agent. So, you're going to get top service. And so I created the website because I'm all about convenience. I don't want to have to take calls, field emails about when I'm available, when I'm not available.
Mm.
And I said, you can book from my website. Because one thing I know for sure is that I want it to be easy for you to do business with me, and I want to be easy to pay. So those are my
Right on.
first things. It's like, okay, I want money.
It all come hand in hand.
It all come hand in hand. And the website, it's to me, it's a good start for me because it details what I do,
Yeah.
and it's an easy way for customers to just get in touch with me. And I tell people all the time, you want my services, you book. Go to the website and you can book because then you know my schedule, you know what you can book.
Mm.
And I've even started some business partnerships that my business partners, they get preference. They can get on my schedule when I have it blocked. Other people
Mm.
can't. So that's
Um,
that's one of the luxuries of doing business, consistent business with me, is that you become a partner, and if you see, I don't see a time, because there are usually times that I block just to get things done. And so business partners, they have a way of getting on my schedule when it's booked. So you can see my credentials. I feel that, a website is a good way for people to see what you're about, what's your
mm.
company, what you do. And social media is a good backup. I would say,
Yeah.
and it's not really a backup, but depending on what you do, that's what I'm gonna say. Depending on what you're doing, a website may not be feasible. I mean, or worth it right at that
Mhm.
point. But if you're selling a service, if you're providing a service, a website can be helpful to your business, especially when it's easy for people. People want
Yeah.
easy, fast, convenient.
Okay.
So, when you contact me, okay, I need you to do a notary. The first thing I say is, okay, I can send you the link to book because that's the easiest
Yeah.
and fastest way
Yeah.
to get on my schedule. Instead of me looking at my schedule, trying to
God.
figure out when you have time, when I have time. So your social media pages is a good complement to your website because you can go to
Right.
Instagram and get to my website. You can book services through Instagram,
Mm.
you do that. So everything
Yeah.
is kind of married and tied together because I want you to feel easy, like, oh, that was easy. Oh, I just
That's
booked,
good.
just went online and clicked, and it's easy.
So I'm gonna T
So
Will to
yeah,
piggyback off this, but what I'm hearing you saying is, and what you did say, that social media is a piggyback or a compliment,
it's a
but
compliment. Yeah.
it's a compliment. So, and not only that, not everybody's on social media,
Yeah.
and even the people that's on it, they're not on it all the time searching. They're still, when people go look for a service, we go to Google. If I want to find a nice restaurant, I'm googling a
Cool. Yeah.
high-end Italian restaurant in Frisco,
Yeah. Yeah.
Notary or black owned in Frisco. So I think that's that piece, and not that you can't use um, Facebook, whatever. But you're right. I think the audience that you can capture, or the options
The audience.
is a lot larger there.
yeah, the audience is different. And one thing I did is I paid for Google Ads.
Mm.
So I
Mm,
do spend part of my marketing budget on Google Ads. And that has helped too. Because like
Oh,
you said, you Google. And
that's
in order for you to get noticed, I want to be the top thing that comes up when you Google. So I have to pay for Google Ads. That's one of
yep.
my markets. So I thought outside the box. Like, there are people who still read the newspaper. There are people who still will read a magazine, whether it's online or whether you have the
yeah,
paper or the magazine in your hand.
yeah.
So I wasn't too focused on social media. I'm on it,
Okay,
but I'm more focused on my newspapers, my magazines, getting radio spots on
oh
different radio
wow,
stations, um,
that's good info.
being involved in my chamber of commerce. I'm not too worried about social media because it's like for the serious people, okay, I may go to social media and find you, but nine times out of
Mm.
10, you're going to Google me, Google my business, go on
Wow.
my website, check it out, and say, okay, and book.
Will, what you think about that, brother?
I think it's powerful. It's power in Google because Google has the SEOs, which is a search engine optimization. Um, if you can figure that piece out there to where people searching for certain things, and Google is good in figuring that stuff out. So it's good that you going with the Google ads. But I, in today's world where we live in, I think a lot of those things we everything that you mentioned is powerful, even social media, because on one hand you got people on social media, like social media to me is like a tool. Either you can
Mm-hmm.
use it a certain way, whether it's wrong or right, but
Mhm.
you can use it in a manner to make it work for you, right? I
Mm-hmm.
use it as a tool. I'm not really no social media person, but in my business I have to have a presence on some type of presence on there, I believe, because
Yeah,
that's people like to see things, right?
yeah.
And people see you doing things, and that's kind of like the
I
social
like it.
media movement. They
Yeah,
looking at it's always somebody spying on you. I'm
and it
telling you,
expands your doesn't it expand your reach. So,
yeah,
like a point,
yeah,
some people are only using Google, and even some people that are on social media, they may not be on it, and they're still.
yep,
I mean, I do a lot of research everywhere. Restaurant, I want to see the reviews. If I'm going to a hotel,
yep,
I want to see pictures, recent reviews.
yep.
Airlines, the type of plane, what if I'm traveling, what they have. So that Google thing is a powerful
Man,
key. I'm listening to you
it's
and I'm taking
it's
notes.
powerful, man, and
Yeah.
I'm
And
telling you,
also thumbtack. You may not think so,
yeah.
but
Thumbtack.
thumbtack is good for putting your business out there too.
So what
I
is
get
thumbtack?
thumbtack is like Angie's List, like Home Advisor, you know. But thumbtack, you can look for a real estate agent, you can look for notaries, you can look for attorneys, you can look on there for
Mm,
anything. And
that's good.
someone at the country club actually asked me, "Are you on thumbtack?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, you should get on Thumbtack and put your business." And once I did it and put my business and did everything, got reviews from past clients, it was like, boom, here's this lead. But I pay for those leads. That way, when people are searching for a notary, I come up first.
Hmm.
So
Man.
my strategy is not one of, okay, let me focus on social media. That will be 2022. But this
Hmm.
year I wanted to focus on more of my ground game, more like, okay, let me do more traditional things like the newspapers, like being
Hmm.
involved in the chambers, knowing what's
Yeah.
going on, and really doing that kind of ground game first
Yeah.
this year. And then next
And you
year,
don't have to go through
okay,
all the junk that comes with social media as
right.
well. I can see that as a big advantage.
So yeah.
Man, I like what Mariposa said though. Hit that comment. The aesthetics can truly heighten the awareness and make your brand stand out marketing wise. Sometimes I'll buy something just because it's
It's
appealing to the eye, and that's what I mean. And that goes back to what you said about the website. I think it's
Yeah.
powerful to have a website because, especially if you're selling any type of products, services, something like that, because people go and look and they browse, and if they see something appealing, it's like when you see a nice car out here, you're like, damn, that's that, you know what I'm saying? So when you go to that
Yeah.
website and you see that nice thing, it stand out. You just might buy it just because you might not even need it.
Yeah. So what's the
Look at
cost of the
Amazon.
website and what did you do? What did you do it yourself? Did you hire somebody? What's the cost associated with that?
No, I didn't do it by myself. It would be raggedy. It probably wouldn't even be up. Uh so if I was doing it, because I gotta have every little thing, so it would have been delayed. But no, I got someone to do it for me. She's black owned business. Her name is Keisha M. White, and she did my branding and my website.
Hmm.
And I worked with a copywriter to words, make sure that the wording was correct, make sure the words were flowing, make sure I told my story in a very concise manner. So having a website, someone to do your brand, and a copywriter, which is really good to making sure that the words flow, that your point is very clear of what you do, why you do it, how you do it,
Hmm.
is very important. And I learned that by just working with her. And I said, I would have never thought of this. But it's so many other things that you could use a copywriter for. And it helps you because you want to look polished and you want to be polished. Because
Yeah.
if you
Mm.
show up somewhere and you look like you don't know what you're doing,
Oh,
somebody's
people
not going to
know.
hire you. You know,
People know.
they're like, I'm not going to do
Yeah.
that.
So you really just you invested. It
I
wasn't
invest.
just some fly by night idea. Because we everybody have ideas, and some people even try to put them to paper. I think a mistake. I don't think a mistake that I made was trying to do everything myself in the beginning.
Mm.
And the thing is, when you know about a lot, you get yourself in trouble. But now I know a little bit about a lot, and part of that is knowing like there's some experts out there that are
And you
good
know
at what
what's
they're doing. Hmm.
a good thing too is trademarking your brand, trademarking your business. I can't stress that enough to people who are getting into entrepreneurship, is that trademark and copyright whatever is applicable to you, because even though this is the mobile notary business, to some it may seem small, but to me, I'm building a legacy. I'm
Hmm.
trademarking. My name is trademarked. I'm a brand. I am trademarked. My business is in
Mm.
the process of being trademarked. My
Yeah.
third business is in the process of being trademarked, even though I don't have anything up for that yet.
Hmm.
But I want the
Man.
name to be trademarked, because even if I sell it, I still want to make sure everything is in order with what I do.
Gotcha.
So you don't want anybody coming behind you using your same name. And you've been using it for so long, but they beat you to the punch and registered and used your name. You're not
Wow.
even registered. You haven't. So guess who's going to get to use the name and then turn around and tell you you can't use your name.
Yeah.
Man, that is, you know what? Like you said, if you're building something, if you have a large vision, it's best to get into stuff like that, trademarking and copywriting, because
Yeah.
you never know what you can build that business um, to grow to.
See, Will, you talk a lot about scaling something, so
Oh
that's it,
man,
man. You
that
gotta have
that's
vision when you come in. That you're not limiting yourself
that's
in
right.
the beginning because I'm only doing this.
Mm-mm. You gotta always have room for growth, man, and that's scaling your business to the next level. Cause I mean, that should be one of your objectives to get in the business to grow it, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
but with all that said, how so? What areas do you cover? I know you cover all DFW, but how far do you go out, Miss Ada? How far do you go out? How people can?
Okay. Is it Dallas, Denton, Collin, Tarrant, Rockwall, Hunt counties?
So you pretty much in a, I would say, if you naming all them, that's at least a 80 to, about a 80, almost to 100-mile radius,
Longer
right?
than that, so we got
Yeah.
80 just in Dallas.
I'm out
I
there. I'm out
I
there in
know,
those
man.
streets.
Hey, if
Well,
the price is right, would
I
you go
have
to
that
West
hey,
vision.
Texas?
say Look, I'm still drive over to Tyler to do real estate. So, hey man, it wherever it calls to do business, I'm gonna jump on that horse and
I'm a
roll
gym,
out.
yeah.
Giddy up.
And sometimes too, I would say as an entrepreneur, sometimes you have to educate others on the business. It's like when I'm talking to other real estate agents and I'm telling them, they were like, "Well, I want to use you for my notary, but my company, uses this." I'm like, "You as the realtor
Mm-hmm.
can say, this is my notary. I want to use this person."
Yep.
And that's how most of the time, the majority of the time, I get my business.
Yeah.
And it's been my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. My sorors have stepped in and helping me, and I can't thank everyone, sorority sisters, friends, family, that help and say, you have to get yourself out there and talk to people, and sometimes
Yeah.
some people don't want to talk to you, and that's okay. I'll go and talk to someone else. I've been in rooms where I'm the only black person in there, and I walk in like, I own this, I'm me, and I carry myself that way, and I don't let that
Love.
bother me. It's like, I'm in
Yeah.
these spaces. I'm a be in these spaces
Yeah.
because some circles that people are talking about things that some of us don't know that they're talking about, that they're talking how they're investing their money, what to watch
Yeah.
for. Um, you heard about this, and you talk and sit and listen. And these
Yeah.
people, every day that I'm, almost not every day, but most days that I'm at the country club, I'm getting free knowledge,
Yeah.
free tidbits from
Man.
people who are
Yeah.
who own, who say, "Oh yeah, I buy commercial property about 4 times a year. We buy, we sell." Yeah, okay, I'll let you in and put you on the title company and make sure that your name is in there on first. And next thing I know, I'm getting calls.
That's awesome.
Hey,
You know that
Ada,
old
you make
So
saying. Go ahead, my
I
bad. Go
I
ahead,
was
bro.
about to say, you make sure you tell them, well, why you putting me on that title? You put my realtor on there as well.
You hear me?
got you.
And
I
my
got you.
podcast. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah,
looking out.
right.
plug us all in, plug
Yeah.
us all in, man. But
I got you.
that's what we doing, man. That's why we doing
Yeah.
this. We educating and motivating people to move. And
Yeah.
I like, how you took, a situation that people could look at as a negative or a bad point. You got a pink slip to say you couldn't work here no more. But then you looked on the other side and said, you know what, that's a green light to get me
Yeah.
into the space where I need to be to do my own business. So man, we appreciate you sharing all of the information and all that game with us. Like you said, networking, I can't
Hmm.
stress that enough, man. So, for
Get
everybody
out there
out
and
there
do it.
listening, get out there, like I network with other realtors. Like I'm not in competition with them. I'm
Hmm.
building with them. Cause you
Yeah.
know what? When I need to make a deal, them some of the first people I call.
Yeah. That's
So,
good, man.
I,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to networking, that old
Yes.
saying is that you don't know what you don't know.
man.
Sometimes you're out there operating off limited understanding, limited knowledge, limited opportunities. And I can just tell you the couple years I've been doing this, just asking and talking to people. Networking is how I came in contact with this guy right here, and just a mutual friend. I was like, hey, I'm trying to expound. I need someone that's, business minded and is focused and committed. And she was like, I got the perfect person. And the most influential voices here on the podcast. So
Man.
tell people out there, if you want to reach a young black, not just a young black female, but anybody that's trying to get started, but especially um, people that are struggling with resources or even direction, like give them a piece of advice or some knowledge on or encouragement on how to get started.
Yeah. Because one of my second project that I'm working on is actually doing a business foundational course on doing, preparing yourself to start your own business, the
Okay.
foundations of starting your business, which is, getting your systems in place, getting your
Mm.
processes in place, what software to use that you can use, what you should put in place for your accounting, putting you in contact with people to do your website. I have a network of people that, can help you,
That's dope.
say, you want a storefront. I know the person who I'm looking at right now on the screen that could help you. I had a friend who was looking for a piece of commercial property and Terrence was just on it.
Yeah.
So I
Man.
have a network of people. Like, I'm not an expert in everything, but I can tell you this is how you lay your foundation. And
Yeah.
once you sit down with me and I can go over that with you, you can take that blueprint and apply it to your second one, your third one, because you have your foundation set. And I think with some people, a lot of the foundational steps are missed. And
Yeah.
even if you've been in business for years, there's changes.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
lot of changes. So I'm
Good
not,
point.
in my mind, I'm thinking I need to grow this notary business because I want to have notaries under me and I want to get a manager so that I can step away and start
Yeah.
doing and growing other things. So everything I do,
That's
people who
awesome.
know me, everything I do is a strategy. There's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
reason why I'm doing certain things.
I got a
So,
question for you.
yeah.
You do everything out of your personal account, or do you have a business account? I know, just joking, kind of, sort of, not really.
Like,
And I'm saying it because
asking for
there
a
are some
friend.
people that
You asking
I
for
know. What you say?
you asking for a friend?
Hey, I mean, hey, I'm good. I'm good now. I tell you from experience that some people just want to be able to manage everything out of one account. And man, I
That's
go
how
at
you
Josh
get out.
and T will talk to Josh before.
Oh
Josh called it
man.
play business. And it's not that you don't have success, but when you are serious about growing and showing the IRS and you're serious, and if you ever want to get grants and loans, like you need those things like websites. You can't be changing phone numbers every 2 or 3 months, and
Yeah.
um, business accounts. There's a
Yes.
number of things. So I like the fact that you got something that you put together that you can share with people. So with that being said, I'm about to put your information up here. We're gonna
Man.
let you talk about how people can reach you and what you're gonna help with. Whether it's information about your business, notary, or even some business tips.
Okay.
So I'm
Well,
gonna let you plug yourself.
if you need a notary to notarize your documents, that will be me. I will come to you, and actually, I can notarize your documents online too.
Mm.
So I can notarize documents all over the United States, including the territories. And so it is fast, it is secure, and everything I do is secure. Use two-layer authentication, and the software is very secure. So I can do online, and I can come to you. And also with my second business is with Ada Crenshaw LLC, is that I do coaching. Right now I only do one-on-one coaching for business foundational startups, and I have another project that I'm working on with another notary. We're working on a project to provide training, notary training.
Mm.
So I have a lot of things in the pot, but they're all working. So my mind is not
Yeah,
everywhere. So that's
that's dope.
what I do right now. All things notary, all things business startup, because I feel that all the information that I'm learning in these circles, these different circles that I'm going in, is that I'm coming and I'm teaching other people. They may not get that opportunity to be in that circle, that may not want to be in that circle, but all the things that I've been told, I'm like, whoo, that's some good knowledge. Okay, I'm passing it
Yeah,
on. I'm passing it on. Whatever I know, I'm passing it on. So, you can email me. It's on the screen. You can email, go to my website, and that's an easy way to contact me also. And my number is on the screen. So you can follow me on social media, Ada Crenshaw, Ada_Crenshaw, on Instagram, and Infinite Legacy Mobile Notary on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm very easy to contact. I want to make sure that people can contact me. Easy, easy, easy.
That's good. Through the website.
Hmm. Book, just
Book
yeah,
her right now if you need any
book.
notary services.
Red, red
Yes.
now. Right
Because
on. Right on.
I love what I do, and I love what I do, and I love the fact that I'm able to think um, how I want and do business how I want, and there's nobody telling me what I can't do. It's not in the budget, although I tell myself it's not in the budget because I'm everything. It's
There
just
you
me. I
go.
have no
Yeah.
team, so I have to tell myself it's not
There
in
you
the
go.
budget. Don't do this. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, so before we get TV to plug himself, we got this nice little fun game we got to play.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
We got to
And
we get a little
it's called
personal here, Ada.
the E&M trivia. We about to ask some
all
questions.
right.
And I told you before the show, the first one, we want to know if your second toe is longer than your big toe. No, we're not gonna ask you that unless two of one. But you got
Uh,
a series of questions
no,
we're
no,
gonna
no, I
ask
gotta
you.
study the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you will, I'll let you start off. And this is
All
not
right.
anything, so you ain't gotta be Jeopardy what.
Oh,
Nothing
this is
like that
not
where you hit.
it's not
Yeah, you don't
rapid.
gotta
Oh,
hit
it's not
fast.
rapid fire. Okay.
Yeah, just hit it, answer the question. So
Oh boy,
okay.
Flex, you got
Hit
me
it with the
going, man.
science.
All right, which one is it, steak or chicken?
Steak.
All right, bone in or bone out in your wings?
Bone in.
She grown, grown.
Bone in. Yeah, she
Yeah.
grown. That's grown folk stuff there. All
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, water, Kool-Aid.
Water.
There you
Healthy.
go. Keep
Okay.
hydrated. All right, which one you like to fly best, American Airlines or Southwest?
Spirit.
Neither.
What? If you had to pick one, which one you
Oh,
gonna pick?
okay. If I had to pick one, it would be Southwest.
Okay,
Really? Why
I
is
can
that?
roll with.
Just because you don't have to deal with big
It's,
DFW,
it's,
is that what it like
you know
to the
what?
number?
I like well, I like Southwest when because I can fly into Love Field. Love Field seems to be a little bit less congested than
Congested.
DFW,
Yeah.
but I fly Delta any way I can. Fly Delta.
I
Okay.
got spots
And
on
Del.
first
Delta,
class
so
is
keep flying.
nice. I
Hey,
fly first class on Delta. I
yeah, I
know.
bet. So you that means you got one of them Delta business cards then.
Hmm.
All right. I was about to say if you flying like that, you better have that Delta business card because they give you some
Yeah,
perks. Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right. Apple or Samsung?
Apple.
There you
Bless your
go.
heart.
Hey, please.
Bless your heart.
I'm appled out, and I have Apple stock.
Ah,
Why am I choose
yes.
I get
Samsung?
it.
Yeah.
Raggedy
Apple,
phones.
baby. That's it's okay, Flex. We gonna get you there, baby.
Come on over to
All right.
the other side, Flex. Come
He
on.
coming. He coming. Which one you
Yeah.
like better, Beyonce or Megan Thee Stallion?
Beyonce.
Oh,
You worry about your
oh.
knees?
I ain't worried
You don't
about
got
my knees. I'm the
the mid
queen. I'm the
studies?
queen.
Okay.
I don't have to do all that because I'm the queen. So I don't have to do all
Ooh, I like that. Hey, there you go. There you go. There you go. All right, which one you like you like to own or rent?
that. Oh,
There
Okay.
we
of
go. We
course.
already know.
You
And
will
they,
You
you
know
will
hey,
what?
plug it
everybody
yourself.
got yeah, everybody got different things they like to do. Cause
Yeah.
some people like to rent, and more power to you.
You
I
know
read I
what?
used to rent my rims when I was younger.
Look, there's some days. Look, there's some days when being a homeowner sucks, and those
Yes.
days are the days I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I just sell this, buy some income property and just stay in an apartment. But then it's like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
I've been in a house too long. I don't
Yeah.
like people around me, so it's like,
Yeah.
nah, that's not gonna work.
Ownership. All right,
Yeah.
now check this out. Here go a laugh one. This ain't trivia either. Which one would you rather have? 500K or half a million?
500. That's the same thing. Like what?
Yeah. No, no,
Play
no.
it.
I
Play
ask
it.
people, I say, sometimes that was like a conversational thing, like, right? So
Like
which one sounds better to you? 500K or half a million?
a half a million sounds way
It sounds
cooler,
better, don't it?
but it's
Yeah.
the same
It's the same
thing.
thing. But I was
Yeah.
trying to prove this point to somebody. And I said, man, it's the conversation you have sometimes. I said because I can say the same thing and make it sound different, and you will go with it, but it's really the same thing. And that's one of them things I'm talking about. If I offered you 500K or half a million, which one would you take?
Yeah.
You say
I,
what?
I was like, what? I'm
I'm like,
thinking
man, give me
maybe
both.
he meant to say, maybe I was thinking maybe he meant to say a million.
No, no,
So I
that's
had to, I
Hey,
was like, maybe he meant a million. But okay,
hey,
oh man.
I'll go
if
with
you
Hey,
ever
that.
offer, I'm telling you to be both. I'm greedy.
Maybe,
I want both. Hey,
well, both
all of them,
if you
all of
get
them,
both,
both
it can
of them.
equal a million though.
yeah, it
Right
could
on,
equal a
brother. That's
million.
what I'm saying.
Well,
Give
because
me
I
both of
thought you
them.
were going to ask me, was I going to take 500K or a meeting with Jay-Z? That seems to be trending right now.
Oh yeah, I seen it. I seen it. That's boy,
Give me
I'm
the
telling you,
money.
boy.
I'm against Jay-Z. Give me the
Oh
money.
yeah, I'm all day. You can give
But
me the money.
you can also think about it as if you went in to talk to him with an agenda, it's like, you know what? I want access to your people, to your circle. I want access. I'm gonna have if I want, I would rather talk to Jay-Z and talk to him because I'm going in with a plan. It's
Yeah.
like here are the things
Yeah.
I'm doing,
Them
and
rich folks.
I want access to your circle because your circle has money. Your circles are
He
millionaires.
gonna get to you for a price.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm asking. That's what
Yeah.
if I have
Well,
to have a conversation, I'm going in with the
Yeah.
plan. Just like if I went and
Yeah.
talked to Oprah, I'm going in with the plan.
you better. You
So
better have
I
a
agree.
plan. Talking to
yeah,
people like
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Miss Ada, we really appreciate you coming on today and giving all the game the jewels that you know,
Yeah.
gave out to people and
thank
hope
you.
somebody got something from it, tonight
I
because
did.
that's
Nothing
yeah.
else. I did,
I
man.
did too. I
Yeah.
I always get something every time. You know what I'm saying? But that's why we
Yeah.
here every Wednesday at 7 to give out the game to people to make sure, people getting this game, and that's just man, we have to that word networking and another word you threw out me and G was talking about earlier is blueprint. And that
Yeah.
Yeah.
goes back to when you go and talking to these people, have your plan. Don't go in there empty handed and thinking like, oh, I'm gonna just free. No, 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 man. Go with the
Mm-mm.
plan. Have your blueprint together. Go with them, talk, and build your business like that, man. Because
Yeah.
it's a lot out here to do, and and people looking for people in good business to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and also I want to just give another plug on, what we're doing with this podcast because we got several. The main one being the Greenwood we have on Sunday, alternating with, love and relationships that we have on Sunday as well. We got the professor on Tuesday. We got IC on what day? Wednesday, or I mean on Friday
She
or
alternates
Thursday?
on Tuesdays or Fridays, so
Okay,
that's kind
Tuesdays.
of based on availability.
Okay, and we got others coming as well, but y'all
Yeah.
just make sure
Yeah.
y'all stay tuned to us, support us. Come in and watch, man. I mean, if you don't get nothing, I mean, if you don't do nothing, get some from the people that's coming on, that's giving
Mm-hmm.
you what
Yeah.
they're doing. Take their motivation and move with it. You know what I'm saying? Man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't just do this just to be talking. We doing this to help other people's,
Right.
grow their
No doubt.
business. So,
Yeah.
but
And I just piggyback on what you said. We doing great things here on the podcast, growing our reach. We're gonna take some of the tips that you gave us. We are actually working on websites, things like that right here. Too late. Wish we had started earlier, but I'm gonna ask you if you can tell your friends about us.
I will.
We know you can share it on your page, send them to our YouTube page. We're on LinkedIn. We are on TikTok. We're gonna get some little things going on TikTok soon. So that's gonna be fun. Hey, I've been working on some
uh,
moves for about
Oh,
2 or 3 months. I'm
okay.
telling you, when I
hey,
get ready,
hey,
Well, make
I'm
sure you
hey.
coming.
post the Instagram
But
too.
I know the no when you come out with a move, you know what it's gonna be called.
What is it?
The flex.
Oh man, networking, bro. Appreciate that.
Hey, make sure
The
you
flex.
write that
Watch,
down.
I'm saying that's the first dance, the flex,
Write that
dog.
down. Write
Yeah,
that down.
that's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
it.
So yeah, we are on YouTube. So please, let all you people know about us. And this is your second time coming back. We know the first time we talked about the importance of mental health. Sometimes we get so business minded and money focused that
Yeah,
we forget that self care, and self care partly is our mental health. So
yeah.
thank
Yes.
you for that. You provide some great
Thank
information information, and we'd love to have you back here in the future. So we
always
can talk
open.
about that structure.
I'm always here. Terrence know when he called, like, hey, can you do? Yep. I don't care if I'm doing something at 7:00. I don't care. I would rearrange my schedule. I don't do that for so many people. But when Terrence texted me, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't have anything, but if I did, I'm like, I need to push it back. I
But
need to be here.
that's the power of networking, though.
Yeah.
That's the power of networking.
Better
So,
relationships.
man.
So I one last thing I would like to tell people is when you're out there securing the bag, make sure you protect it. Make sure you protect that bag. And that's by 1, trademarking, 2, life insurance, 3, having a will or a trust and or doing your power of attorneys, setting up all of that. If I can't say anything else, I would say don't get so caught up securing the bag that you forget to protect it.
Yeah.
So make sure it's important that you want to leave a legacy, but make sure you protect it.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good word. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that.
And man, we won't ever forget it, and we will definitely bring you back. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, tell people about the Love and Relationship Show. That's one of my favorite shows. We always say something. Yeah. Oh, so you've been on it? You watched
I started. I watched it.
Yeah. Man, listen, it's getting better. It's about to get better. We got some of these on there. So
yeah.
Appreciate you. Appreciate Alicia and Mariposa for
yes.
The Benny Rogers, one of our faithful. And thank you, my cousin Doris Ware, man. Every time we go live, man, I'm getting a notification in the show. So that's what it's about. Sometimes
appreciate the love and support.
Yeah, support ain't all about money. People think it's all about money. Sometimes it's just tell somebody about us, man. Share the show.
It costs nothing the right person to show. It costs nothing to share. It costs nothing to like.
Right. Nothing. Quit sharing those fight videos and share this right here.
That's right. That's right.
I ain't telling nobody what to do with their page, but yeah.
Man,
cool.
Hey man, we hey man, appreciate you, Ray and Felicia, for joining in on us tonight, man. Ray's a powerful hitter too, so I just want you to show he's a LO loan officer, and man, he coming on one of these days, man. So he gonna bring some heat and bring y'all some gems. So y'all look out for that coming soon. But man, we appreciate y'all.
Take my number down, Ray.
We appreciate y'all for there goes Doris. So we appreciate you, Doris, for sharing and everything. Appreciate the love, and man, we just appreciate everybody for joining in tonight. And like once again, Ada, we appreciate you for coming on, sharing your gems about your service. If y'all need any notary services, she's mobile notary within a 100-mile radius. Y'all hit her up 214-629-2523, or just go to the website what she says, and y'all can see her schedule where you can get on her calendar and utilize her services. But hey, thanks to everyone for joining in. Keep supporting us, joining in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Take us out, G. We'll see y'all next week. Baby, yeah, baby, I'm in love. If we come down to the floor is yours, let me show you how I prove that is yours.